been ages since you've done a video. Could you stop being lazy?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Come on, man. You know I'm allergic to mild criticism.
But it's been forever, and you promise you do more.
Dude, the only thing I'm more allergic to than mild criticism is guilt, so lay off.
Well, then let's go.
Ugh.
Indie bin? He'll be in the coffin more like. Looks like it's the cameraman show now.
Released back in March of 2014, Dark Shadows Army of Evil is an action indie fantasy RPG released by the German software development company Burien Media Enterprises. And let's be honest, the Enterprises at the end makes the company sound just that little bit more professional. From the very well constructed webpage, we can surmise that this is indeed the case. I mean, just look at the font and the green text and this thing. However, it's the Steam page that really sets the scene. September 1362, an army of evil named Dark Shadows have been ravaging the country like a plague of... Nah, let's not read the story. I'm sure the deep and immersive story-driven experience this RPG sets itself out to be will outline the story to us perfectly. Just gotta boot up the game. A loading screen. Well, these aren't uncommon these days. Well, that probably means we're just going straight into the game, which is good. I mean, fuck options menus and choices for graphical and audio detail. I'm sure the game's going to look fantastic. Let's get straight into it. Any time now. Just gotta... wait for the thing to load. While we wait for the thing to load, we might as well look at the features on the Steam page. We're told the game has a kind of old school look, perhaps old school 3D RPGs. I can get behind that. And with 19 levels and 18 weapons, single player and 3D real-time cinematic blood splatter scenes, truly we are spoilt here. Certainly better than those 2D turn-based bland blood splatter scenes we have to painfully endure in more inferior RPGs. Are you paying attention, Bethesda? You taking notes? Oh no, that loading was for the menu. Alright, no problem here. Hopefully we'll just be able to jump straight into the game then, after this is loaded.
It's good to see you back again at last. While you were away catching the runaway horse, the monsters stormed the castle. The king is injured and my sister Katerina has been kidnapped. They've also taken all the gold, all the taxes, and weapons. They've been ravaging the country like a plague of locusts for over a year, and are frightening the people with their scary get-up.
Oh, so the Steam page description of the game was just a copy-paste job from the script. That's fine. That's completely fine. Just quickly, I'll read this out because it's gameplay. You need to read gameplay before you can experience gameplay. That's the point of gameplay, obviously. The player, that's us, fights his way through 19 levels. Various weapons will be available. They can be found in different levels. So far it's basically Half-Life with 2 extra levels. Everything begins moderately, and you need to find some keys and a sword. After the first level, the game turns into a hack and slash game. Most of the time, the player has to fight against enemies. Bowl me down. A hack and slash game where the player fights against enemies? That's what we call innovation. Just spelt like this. But he has to do also other little things and must solve certain problems. Spoiler, the problems entail figuring out which side of an axe to plant into an orc's face. You need a keyboard and mouse. Shit. He's keeping watch.
They've been ravaging the country like a plague of locusts for over a year, and are frightening the people with their scary get-up.
Hold on, they are frightening people with their scary get-up? Most people still think that they're monsters, but they're only in disguise? What the fuck, is this Halloween? I'm sure plenty of kids dressed up as ghosts, egg houses during Halloween. Doesn't mean I'd take out a broadsword and start hacking away.
You must help me find my sister. You are in love with her. You must hurry and follow them before we can hurry. We've got to get you a sword. The king.
You know, this really sets the mood for me. I guess I am in love with Katarina. No idea who the fuck she is or anything, but if you say I'm in love with her game, you must be right. So the first thing to do is find keys and a sword. Shouldn't be too hard. Yes. Shouldn't be too hard. No, it shouldn't be. Let me take another first-person fantasy game, say Skyrim. See this? This thing? This little thing up here, do you see it? This is a quest marker. And this? Well, this is a map. Trust me, I've looked. This is the escape menu. No map, no markers, no nothing. Because God forbid they put the bloom settings within options. No, I need my fucking bloom options to hand. There's a compass, which is completely pointless since it shows nothing about my objective, but that's about it. So things are dark, this fog texture appears as though it's fucking painted on some glasses my character's wearing, and all the corpses look like they're paid actors in some weird Japanese reality show. So, old school look seems to translate to fuck it, I quit. I mean, this isn't abhorrent. I can tell what things are. The corpses are a little Gmod for my taste, but it's all here. I have plenty of time to look at everything since I have no idea where to go, and I doubt there's a fucking primer guide to this Oh, well, what do you know? There is a guide to this game, and it was made by the developer. You know, it's never a good sign when you see the developer of a game has to write a walkthrough guide. So, thanks to the developer, I get the torch. I'm taught about inventory, Q and E, right? I don't really get how that works. I have fists. Okay, let's get those out. Oh, fuck! That is horrifying. First off, why does this valiant knight of the realm have fucking noodle arms? And he's carrying a rock? Is that a rock? And what I assume to be the block button fires up an aggressive bout of Parkinson's. And why is the first person camera in the dude's chest? And does this guy have eyes for nipples? Just gonna put all that away for now. You know, in game and deep in my soul. So the torch has no oil, so we need to go get some. Fair enough. And what I could only describe as a route that looks fresh out of the Half-Life speedrun, we grab the oil placed on top of a large piece of furniture, because, you know, where else would you store your torch oil? Back to a random room for a key, up to another random room to unlock a chest that gives another key. That key opens another room on the other side of the castle where we get the sword. This isn't gameplay, this is menial labour only meant to elongate an already dreary and boring game experience. It's fetch quests without the weird creepy NPCs to give them. Or any direction. How was I supposed to figure all that out on my own, when no direction was given, no markers, no notes, no indication of what I'm doing? I see, when he meant old school, he meant like NES old school, you know, where you had to buy a fucking Nintendo power to know what you're doing. Anyway, I have the sword. And so here enters the combat. Each mouse button represents a certain attack chain. There's left click, a sort of stabby animation with a downward cut middle click and a right... Are you fucking kidding me? And they thought this was appropriate for what I can only assume to be the right-click heavy attack? Why does he scream in such exertion as if he were Atlas holding aloft the fucking earth? He sounds like he's trying to scream away a rabbit in his garden, not charge into battle. So he's not only wildly swinging a sword above his head as if he were wrestling it from the grip of a particularly pesky ghost, but he's rotating his entire body away from the heavily armoured orc about to split him open like a Kit Kat. Well, time to head back to the main gate. Whoa! That must be one of those pesky tricksters in scary get-up I've been hearing so much about. Well, he doesn't look so old. Jesus, he's coming right for us! You know what made Skyrim? That cinematic death thing that happens on a few enemies when you finish them off. So why don't we triple the amount of times that happens, make them more drawn out, unskippable, and implement gratuitous blood effects? Mwah. Just perfect. Fuck it, don't care, next level.
So you found a sword. We can finally get on our way. Oh my god. Oh my god! They've killed the king! I must get away and rescue my sister!
You hear this? This is what a voice actor sounds like when he tries to do ye old medieval style, while giving no effort whatsoever. So the king So the king is dead, my friend has run off, and Katerina is still missing. I'm sure killing that one guy helped. So basically, combat has come down to holding left click, pushing the attack animation forward into the enemy, and then retreating as they counterattack, and doing it all over again. There's no combo, no jump attacks or chain hits, no parries or blocks, and my heavy move has me do a screaming pirouette like a drunken ballerina post-ankle surgery. So combat is not only piss easy, it's trivial. Hack and slash, more like stab and flail. Not only that, these enemies might appear fearsome, but they're actually quite reasonable. They tend to queue up instead of gang rush me like, "Give him what for, Percy, and dare I say, if you do fall to this ruffian, I'll assuredly put down this brute in memory of you." Again, I keep harping on about this, but without a map, quest marker, or the fucking Star of Bethlehem, finding the enemies in these large expansive levels is as difficult to find as the items in the first level. Without the walkthrough, I'd be fucked. And your character doesn't mention what you need to do, or if you've done anything meaningful. If you slay all the enemies on the map, nothing will tell you that you have. Your character won't even say anything. The only indication you've completed the level is to trek all the way to the exit, which you have to find yourself, and see if it'll let you pass. If not, fuck you, back to random enemy hunting. And you have to find a weapon on each level. For every level, 18 in total. And why the fuck do we need 18 weapons? Unless this guy's going to take an axe in each hand, grit a dagger in his teeth and clench a warhammer between his finely perked butt cheeks, why do we need the choice? Especially since all the fucking weapons have the same attack animation, damage, speed and range. At least they do from what I can see. In a later level, you do get a bow and arrow. Well, you get 2 bows and a fucking crossbow, but they're... yeah. Look, if you couldn't already tell by now, this game was made by one guy, just one dude doing most, if not all of the work. And as you can see by the guide, English isn't his first language. He's put in all the effort of making this game, so let's put in the effort of finishing it. Let's do this. Burian Media Enterprises, copyright 2012 to 2014. Next level, same as before. Find enemies, find weapon, finish level. Thrust, retreat, repeat. Maybe a little backslash now and then. Noodle Arms the Knight not only seems to have thin pasta strands for arms, it also appears his lower half doesn't do much better. Whilst trying to avoid more monstrous backtracking in level 5, I decided to jump over a wall, whereby I vault the fucking thing like a whipped racehorse and end up taking such tremendous fall from the chest-high obstacle that I break both my knees. What sort of pathetic excuse is this knight that he seems to fend off mighty blows from orcish steel like a vicious assault from some passing disgruntled butterflies, yet a simple drop from a fucking perimeter wall has his health halved? Halved! And what is up with the death sound? Perhaps it's the demented laugh of Knight Ramen Arms welcoming the sweet embrace of death. For a guy sprinting around different coloured fields, hacking down trick-or-treaters while consuming nothing but cabbage, I can't say I blame him. Coupled with the fact that your torches illuminate as well as it would underwater compared to the random torches strewn about the place vomiting out light like the fucking butthole of Ra, I'm getting close to done. This is getting really difficult, okay? This game is just a chore and I don't want to finish it. It's sluggish, the pacing's terrible, the combat is bad, No. You know what? One guy made this game, and okay, it's not the best game anyone's ever made. It's definitely not that. But he's tried hard. He's tried his best. He's put his heart and soul into this game. You can see it from the promotions on the website and the way he's written the guide that this game means a lot to him. And it wasn't the best. It's not the best. You know, Bethesda could make better, or Konami could make better, but they've got hundreds of thousands of people on their team working together to create this one game, and he himself has just put all of his resources and all of his effort into this one shining example of what he could create. He's created something by himself, a game. And we should finish it. We owe it to him. So we're going to. No more feeling guilt. Oh, fuck. To save you the rest of the levels, there are 19 of them. Let's have a quick summary. Castle, kind of castle, lightning tree, look, we got weather effects, church, not church, swamp, pass, part 1, pass, part 2, attack of the clones, Vulcan?
Couldn't have forged it better myself.
Some river, marketplace, runes, more runes, annoying town place, some other runes, and the fortress, the final stretch of the game. The castle itself is a piece of cake. Take out the surrounding enemies 1, 2, burn a tree 3, 4, besiege the keep 5, 6. Inside we search the lonesome halls and empty prison, left without our beloved once more, and then... a scream. Noodly Arms the Knight finds something within himself, a deep power, a burning rage fueled by the love of his kidnapped girlfriend, swinging wildly at the orcs as they go down in one hit. Ironically, this turns the combat from trivial to pathetic. Soon enough, we find our beloved within a pyre, who is strangely calm, to be honest, offering her a knife to free herself before turning back to finish what we started. Now it is time to search the commander. He is in the fortress near another door. Run to him and fight with him. It will be the longest and hardest fight of your life. Okay, is it just me? Because it feels like it's me right now. Or does he resemble a prostitute waiting on a street corner? It's not just me, is it? It can't just be me. And why is he human? And so underclothed? The enemies so far have been colourful variations of orcs, but this guy looks like some generic half-naked dude from an obscure fighting game that you'd never choose to play as. Oh well, best keep up the theatrics. And here we face him, the hulking terror, surrounded by his hoard of treasure. The booty and the beast. Yeah, I did it. And she's still standing in the fire. And there you have it. Dark Shadows, Army of Evil, a game dedicated to honouring the old hack and slashes in style and execution. However, in the end, it was shoddy, poorly made, and very slow. A jaded combat system could not be excused by 3D cinematic blood effects, which made the already abysmal pace even slower. Although I personally enjoyed the design of the enemies and the levels, as well as the variety of weapons, the confusing map layout, the lack of a map, quest markers, compass or anything like that made it all seem very dull and boring, poorly executed. However, do not be fooled, this is not the same level as Air Control. You can tell the developer put some effort into this game. It's not some thrown together half-assed piece of rubbish. It's something that he put together to be proud of. Or they, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's one person. Is it a good game? No, it isn't a good game, and a limited team just does not excuse that. But should this game exist? Yes, absolutely it should. Borean Media Enterprises created something. They created a world and characters and story and gameplay. They created something, and sure, it's not very good, but it's something. It's a grounding. Not every developer started off with a AAA amazing title that made lots of money. Borean Media Enterprises have made something, maybe it's a flop, but it's something to build on. The greats started small and these guys started small. I'm not at all telling these people to stop making games, of course not. Failures add up to experience. What I'm saying is, other games developers started off small, but they created these wonderful worlds and characters that are beloved today. Mass Effect and Fallout and Elder Scrolls and these different amazing worlds full of people and full of experiences. And Borean Media Enterprises could go on to do that. Everybody starts somewhere, and it's good to know that people are trying. These guys are proper indie developers, and I take my hat off to them. But I won't do that. I'll do that later. Borean Media Enterprises, I thank you. Hey there guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for sticking with me and getting to the end of the video. Hopefully you liked it made you laugh, and if it did, why not throw it a like, maybe favourite it, share it on social media, every little bit helps. But that's all for now, Bin Raiders. Keep bin raiding, and I'll see you next time.